Hello YouTube, it's Ryan here with Hobbies of Man once again, and today we're going to be doing another haul video for the month of November. So we have a lot of stuff here today. I ended up buying a lot of manga this month, and I'm pretty happy with my purchases, but I also did end up buying a lot of other stuff. So we'll have the figures, then the novels, then the comic books, and then the manga at the end. And at the beginning of each section, we're going to have the digital stuff as well. So feel free to watch whatever section you like or not watch it at all. Feel free to come back for a different video. But yeah, so let's get started with the two figures I bought this month. I wasn't planning on it, but then I saw that Crunchyroll had a Black Friday sale and I decided to buy some stuff for my roommates for their for Christmas, for their Christmas gifts. And at the same time, I also saw that there were some figures that I liked, and so I decided to buy them. Now, I was originally going to buy One Piece figures, but by the time I got around to buying the stuff that I wanted for my roommates, the One Piece figures had been sold out. So I switched it up for two Dr. Stone figures. So I got a Suika price figure and a Kohaku price figure. So those two are some of my favorite Dr. Stone characters, alongside Senko himself, and of course Tsukasa as well. So hopefully I can get matching figures for them too as well. So yeah, I don't know what they look like. I mean, I have pictures of them, but I haven't received them yet, but they have been shipped out, so they should get here sometime in the next couple of days, and I'm really excited about that. So let's move on to the novels. Let's start with the two digital novels that I got. First off is Dungeon Crawler Carl. This is a lit RPG type story. I don't know too much about it. I saw an ad on like Facebook or Instagram, I don't remember, and it was like saying, hey, this book is 99 cents. So I picked it up and got it. And then I got another book in the same way called Project Angel, which I think is a harem-lit book. So that's pretty interesting. Those are two genres that I really enjoy, but I don't really read too often, mostly because I just don't get around to buying many of those books. And the few that I have bought, I just haven't gotten around to reading. So I do have a little stack of books on my book funnel and my Kindle app in those genres that I need to get around to reading. So probably will read them next year. So that's it for the digital novels. Let's look at the two novels that I bought physically. One of them is Tarzan number 4, The Son of Tarzan. Here it says, the son of Tarzan, Paul Vitch, still lived and sought vengeance against Tarzan. As part of his plot, he lured Tarzan's young son away from London, but the boy escaped with the aid of the great ape Akut, or Akut. They fled to the savage African jungles where Tarzan had been reared. There, the civilized boy had to learn to meet the great beast and face the dangers only his father had ever conquered. By the time he grew up, he became Korak the Killer, almost as mighty as Tarzan. Korak found a friend in Miriam, who he rescued from an raiding Arab band. Then he discovered that the dangers of the jungle were nothing compared to those devised by men. So basically, I think that this is essentially the fact that Tarzan has had a family now, and now he has to make Tarzan's family be able to coexist alongside Tarzan, and so Edgar Rice Burroughs had to come up with contrived ways of making them do so. Having his son be a powerful character in his own right makes sense, and so he put his son in the jungle. And this is the fourth book. I don't have the third one, so I haven't read that one yet. So that means I probably won't get around to reading this anytime soon, but hopefully I can chase down book 3 and get around to reading it as soon as possible. So yeah, there you go. That's Tarzan number 4. And the last book that I bought this month is Cole, Exile of Atlantis. This is a Robert E. Howard book. This is kind of all of the short stories collected in a single volume. This is a special Del Rey edition of the Robert E. Howard library. So Robert E. Howard, Cole, Exile of Atlantis. This is the progenitor to Conan, basically. And I read the first story. It was actually pretty interesting. I don't know if they're in chronological order or writing order, but it's pretty interesting. It has a lot of information here, but most of this is not actually about Cole. It's about Robert E. Howard, so I'm not going to read that. And it's pretty interesting. It has a lot of, like, little bits of artwork here. So there's the frontispiece. Then it has all of the other books that come in this library. The Coming of Conan the Cimmerian, Savage Tales of Solomon Kane, The Bloody Crown of Conan, Breck Mac Morn, The Last King, that's the Pictish guy, The Conquering Sword of Conan, and Call of Atlantis, which is pretty interesting. Here's some more illustrations. Illustrated by Justin Sweet, it says here. And then all of these stories that come in the book. So the first one is actually called Untitled. Or it's actually just an untitled story, although it has been published as Exile of Atlantis before. Then you have The Shadow Kingdom, The Mirrors of Tuzan Thun, an untitled draft again, The Cat and the Skull of Silence, The Striking of the Gong, The Altar and the Scorpion, and it tells you where they were published and where they came out. The Curse of the Golden Skull, The Black City, Untitled Fragment, By This Axe I Rule, which I'm pretty sure is a story that's pretty popular and that was adapted for Conan at some point. The Sword of the Purple Kingdom, The King and the Oak, Kings of the Night, Amra the Ta'an, The Tale of Amran, a bunch of other fragments, The Shadow Kingdom, Dogcard's Cat, and The King of the Oak draft again. So yeah, and then it tells you where all of them are located in the book and the index, of course. And then there's a pretty interesting kind of little bit of a foreword and then an introduction that is mostly talking about where Cole fits into the mythos of the Robert E. Howard world and stuff like that, which is pretty interesting. If you're a fan of writing and if you're a fan of the history of these characters, you might enjoy it. I read half of it, skipped over it, read the first story, really enjoyed it. I'm gonna definitely come back to this later on. But for now, it's something that I'm not gonna read anytime soon, but it is something that I've been wanting to collect for a while, and so I saw it at a used bookstore, and I just had to get it. So there you go. Now, let's look at the comic books here. So I bought 2 digital comic books. Both of them are collected editions. The first one is Kingdom Come, the DC storyline or the DC event or whatever it's called, Kingdom Come. I think it's only 5 issues, and I bought the collected edition. I think it's some sort of anniversary edition. I'm not sure. Here's what it looks like. And then I also bought We Have Demons, the first volume, which is the Comixology Originals Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo story. So that's the same team that did New 52 Batman. And, well, it has pretty interesting art style because Greg Capullo did it. And also, it's a pretty interesting story. It kind of reminds me of like a Kill Bill, Girls with Guns, Dragon Lady, Femme Fatale type thing, with this like Spawn kind of vibe to it. And it looks pretty interesting. I bought it because it was like $1. And Kingdom Come was like $3, so I bought them. But I don't know. I don't really like digital comic books that much, but they're enjoyable enough as they are. But I also recently got a new iPad, a larger iPad. I got it for Black Friday. My parents helped me purchase it, and the screen is huge. So it's actually something that I'm probably going to continue to buy and actually get more into the further down I go, in this channel, because one, it's way more affordable, and two, it's actually a lot easier to read on a Kindle than it is to read physically. It's just not as exciting, I guess, because I really enjoy the tactile feedback, the immersive process of feeling the pages, smelling the book, hearing the sounds of the pages crinkle as you read, all that type of stuff. I really, really like, and it's actually part of why I collect physical media so much, is because I like the tactile sensation, aspect of that, and I feel like I lose that a lot with, reading on an iPad or something. But I do it a lot because, well, it's more affordable, right? So, yeah, that's it for the digital comics. Let's look at all the physical issues that I bought this month. These are all out of order, but it's not a big deal. So first we have The Least We Can Do, number 3. Number 3. This one was pretty good. I liked it. I'm liking this story quite a bit. The art style could be a little bit better, but generally it's really enjoyable. This is Bella and Valeria number 5. I think this is the last issue in the series, and it was a bit disappointing. I like the female characters a lot, and I like the story. I just feel like it didn't really have enough time to develop itself. I feel like with another issue or two, it would have done a really good job at like ending properly. This does end, but it also is very open-ended, and also it doesn't really feel satisfying, if that makes sense. Then we have Dark Knights of Steel number 8. I like this one. I enjoyed this chapter. Tom Taylor is a pretty good writer when it comes to the non-canon stuff, and I really enjoy this because it's medieval fantasy and because it's superheroes, and those are two genres that I really, really like. We have Gun Hunting number 3. Really good stuff. I love this. I really, really want to get more hard case crime stuff, but I can't ever find it. I can never find it at my local Barnes & Noble, so I don't know what to do. I'll probably just have to order it online, and I really don't like doing that, but it is what it is. Then we have Moon Knight number 17. This one goes back to the vampire storyline. It's all right. I would like this run to end so I can stop collecting it, but for now, I am continuing to collect it, and I'm continuing to enjoy it. Then we have Lord of the Jungle number 1. This is a Tarzan comic book. This is the first licensed Tarzan comic book in a long, long time. And this one basically is a retelling of the first half of the Tarzan novel as it's setting up a new storyline, which is kind of interesting. But the Tarzan retelling is not actually completely accurate to the original novel. It's a little bit massaged and slightly changed to make it a little bit more palatable, or maybe just to make it quicker. I'm not too sure. I don't really have too much of an issue with it, but it is kind of a noticeable thing, so be aware of that. Then we have Sheena number 10. This is the last one in this series, and hopefully we get another Sheena series that continues off after this one later on, because I really enjoyed these covers. I actually like the Sheena character quite a bit, and again, I feel like it's not a very satisfying ending, and maybe it's because they're a pulp hero, or maybe it's because they just kind of have to wrap it up, but also not make it so final that you can't go back and keep writing later. But I don't know. She ends up beating the Nazi guys and dealing with the shitty guys that were trying to, kill her and stuff. So it works out, but it doesn't really feel satisfying, I guess. But overall, I really did enjoy my time with the Sheena story. So yeah, also those covers are just amazing. If I could just buy posters of these, I would have them all over my room. They're just really, really good. Then we have Titans United number 3. This is the second story, Blood Pact. Technically, it's not actually the second story. It's just the same team, later on, and it's not that bad. It's not that good either. It's it's less good than the first one, but also I still enjoy it, so I keep reading it. It kind of has a CW crossover event feel, and that's fine. So yeah, then we have Death Dealer number 7. Number 7. This is back to the main storyline. We're back with Kerr and the Death Dealer helmet as they're in hell, and things get pretty dicey for them. So I'm interested to see when the wizard or the sorcerer comes back to help them. So yeah, that's all I bought. I also have 4 more books that I'm supposed to be picking up tomorrow from my pull list from my local comic book shop, but I don't have them with me right now because today is Monday and they don't come out until Wednesday, and this video comes out Tuesday. So I'll get them when I get them, but I'll show them to you now. They're on the screen right now. It should be Vanish number 3, Sonia Unbreakable number 2, and then 2 other ones that I don't remember off the top of my head. But hopefully I get them, and hopefully I enjoy them. I'll talk about them in the next wrap-up video, but I don't know when I will have that video. I'll probably have a December check-in sometime on the 15th of December or around those days. And then I'll probably finish YouTubing for the year December 20th or December 24th or something. December 22nd, sorry, and not 24th. And then I'll come back January, 5th or 6th, and we'll see where we go from there. But I haven't solidified my plans yet, so I'll let you guys know later on. But yeah, that's all I have to say about the comic books now. So let's move on to the manga and stuff. So let me double check that I don't have any digital stuff. Actually, I do have something digital. So I only bought one digital thing this month, and it was by chance. And actually, I had just told my buddy Robert that I wasn't going to buy it in a physical store. And then I saw that there was coinback plus a big steep discount for this book, so I picked it up. And this book is Reincarnated as a Sword, which is the one with the little cat girl that wields a giant sword, and the sword is alive. It's one of these reincarnated as an as an object kind of things. The most clear example of it, probably, other than the reincarnated as a vending machine one. So yeah, I bought it. It was like $3, and I got 250 coins from it. So overall, that was a pretty good deal in my opinion. And those 250 coins will definitely be used later on to probably buy some other light novels that I haven't been able to pick up in a while. Probably Cooking with Wild Game, if I'm being really honest about it, or maybe something else. I'm not too sure right now, but definitely gonna get back to more light novels with that, because I do feel like I've been slacking on the light novel department this year, and I really hope to not do that next year. But who knows what's really gonna happen in the coming years. So yeah, let's get into the physical manga. I bought a bunch of it. I don't know how much. Probably 20-ish volumes, a little bit more than that. But a lot of this I bought at Walmart and Target. So, check your Walmart and check your Targets. They're really starting to carry a lot of manga. And, sometimes you'll get lucky and get it for a pretty good deal. So let's get started. Here we have Blue Lock number 1. Then we have number 2, which I actually kind of fucked up by accident. I was, messing with it and it fell over. And it has massive Kodansha disease, but this time it's not due to printing or mishandling. It's literally just me being stupid and dropping it. You can't see it, but it's ripped, and this had like a big notch in it, and I had to like push it with my nail back into shape. So yeah, but I bought these physically because I got them at Walmart, and they were like $7 or $8, and I thought that was a pretty good deal. I did already own these digitally, so I shouldn't have bought them. But I thought about it, and I do want to switch over to physically owning these volumes. And when I saw them, for that cheap each, I decided to pick them up. I saved myself about, $12 total. So that's pretty good. Something that would have cost me $39 only cost me about, 20-something, 28. So that's a pretty good deal. I'm pretty happy with it. And they look really cool, actually. I really like the colors on these. I think the next one is orange, and then the one after that is black or dark blue. And I'm really excited about that. The one thing I don't like is the spines. They're just so basic. They don't really have any splashes of color or anything. I really would have liked to see the Blue Lock logo in between the letters, or some sort of matching color stripe to match each of the characters underneath them, like a green stripe under Isagi, and then a yellow stripe under this guy. What's his name? Chisuri or something like that. And then a pink one right here. But, it doesn't really matter all that much. And the spines are pretty well aligned. So, I'll take what I can get when it comes to Kodansha, because they really suck sometimes. So that's it for that. And then we have Beauty and the Beast number 4. I was at the bookstore today fixing something with my Vinland Saga 12 volume. I actually did get that one changed out, and I bought a new one today. But Beauty and the Beast number 4, I was actually trying to find Beauty and the Beast number 5 today when I went to the bookstore, which is what I was trying to get around to telling you guys. But it's a really good book. I really recommend it. I think it's really, really good. I also think it might be a little bit problematic. This kid right here is in early high school, and she's a 30-year-old woman, and they interact, and they have this situation where they eat dinner together every day, and so eventually they do develop some sort of romantic relationship. And some people have problems with that. I don't really care. It's fiction. It's not real. I know it's not real, and it's just gonna stay that way. But if you have issues with like age gap type things, don't read it. If you don't, definitely check it out. It's really, really good. It's a food manga. It is the food manga in the okay, how do I explain this? Okay, generally speaking, food manga is in two different genres. One is the two different styles. One is the food is good and you should enjoy it, and here's people enjoying food, which is stuff like this, and stuff like the Diner in Another World or something. I don't remember. I made a review for it. And also stuff like Crazy Food Truck. And then there's the here's how you cook kind of side of things, which is stuff like Sweetness and Lightning and Drifting Dragons and stuff like that, which is partially about the enjoyment and mostly just about like, hey, here's how you prepare ingredients, here's the enjoyment that you can get out of preparing them, and here's a bunch of recipes, right? And so, Drifting Dragons and Delicious and Dungeon and stuff like that is more of that speed, right? This one is mostly about just enjoyment. There really aren't any recipes that she shows you during the book, but there are sometimes recipes in the back of the book that you can try out if you like. So yeah, really good stuff. I really enjoy it. This is a series that I really like a lot. It will probably be into my top 10 manga of the year. If I haven't mentioned it before, I think I haven't. So I'll probably get around to mentioning it this time. Yeah, Witch Hat number 5. Quickly becoming one of my favorite series for sure. I love this. I just like the art style a lot, and I really enjoy the storytelling. And the character designs are also really good. Then we have number 6. And I just bought this one yesterday, but here we have number 7. So I have up to volume 7, and I was trying to see if I could get up to volume 10 by the end of the year, but I don't know if I'll be able to, although I do definitely want to. Then we have The World After the Fall. This one is not a manga, this is a manhwa. This is also, I think, technically on Webtoons. You can read it for free. I don't know if it's one of those ones that's behind a paywall. I'm not sure. I haven't checked. I don't really care to check. Because I don't really think I'm going to continue reading this, but I'm not sure. The thing is that when I read this, I found it to be confusing and kind of contemplative, but in like an edgy way. Not really like contemplating because he's trying to get an answer, mostly just contemplating to make it feel like there's something going on. And also, it's not very well explained. I don't know if this is because the author originally didn't explain well, or if that's because the adaptation is doing a bad job at explaining stuff. I'm not sure. I don't really care to know the answer. I mean, I just know what it feels like. And I also know that the explanation also doesn't really end up mattering, but the fact that it's confusing is bad. And the explanation doesn't matter because once you get into the later part of the book, the explanation to how things are happening, things in the tower are happening, stop mattering because this character is now in a different location, in a different part of the universe, in like a different like ascension level. And so the rules are completely different and they have nothing to do with the tower mechanic, right? So that means that the mystery of the tower no longer matters. And I don't like that because first of all, if you set up something, you should be able to explain it, and they did a really bad job at it, or at least of it making sense. And then, if you're going to take that time to set that up and then do it wrong, you should not also then develop a new system and push your character into that other place. I just don't really like it, and I'm not sure that I want to continue reading it. But we'll get around to deciding that when the next volume comes out. I might still pick it up if it's available at Walmart, and I'll just resell it later and make my decision on it at a later date. Then we have Eden Zero number 18. 19 already came out, but I haven't picked it up yet. So, yeah, this is a pretty sad volume. Although I do feel it ends kind of abruptly. If I remember, this is the one that we get a character death in. I'm not gonna say who it is, but I do feel like the power of the situation was robbed of me because I accidentally got spoiled for it. I don't really care about spoilers generally because I feel like most of the time without context they don't matter. But you know, character deaths, specifically like named character deaths, are difficult to stomach even without context because like now I know that his character dies. It makes it shittier, right? And it's also one of my favorite characters in Eden Zero, so that kind of sucks. However, I also think the writing and the place where things stopped and the way the death was revealed happened is also just not that good. And I do feel like that's kind of one of the first times I see Mashima kind of fail at something. But I don't know yet because I haven't read the next volume, so maybe it is, fine. And also, sometimes volumes have to end, whether or not they're in a good place to end, just because of the fact that, you have to divide the chapters equally, right? So, I don't know. It's whatever, but it's still good. I really enjoy Eden Zero. And I honestly am surprised that we're already at 18. It feels like it's been going real fast. But that's really, really good. Then we have Komi Can't Communicate number 21. I love Komi. I don't care that it's slow or that it spins its wheels or that people complain about it all the time. I don't give a shit. It's just really, really enjoyable. I love it. It makes me really, really happy. And every time I read it, I have a lot of fun doing so. So there we go. Komi Can't Communicate number 21. I don't know when 23 comes out, but hopefully soon. 22, but hopefully soon, although maybe not. It might not come out until spring. I'm not sure. I know a lot of things that I was expecting to come out early in the year are actually coming out sometime in March. So that kind of sucks, but you know, it is what it is. Then we have a bunch of Kaiju number 8, so we have number 2, which is pretty good. I'm very happy that all of these have color pages. That's really satisfying, although, you know, it would have been nice if they were in the right place. But, you know, can't complain too much. Then we have number 3. I love this color so much. However, I do feel that they're less saturated and less bright than the original Japanese. But, you know, it is what it is. Again, color pages are nice. I like them a lot. And then this last one I got, and I think this one is printed incorrectly, or there's something wrong with it. No, there we go. It's glued incorrectly, so you have this sliver of white here, but it's not the manga pages. It's actually the fact that the cover was white here and they chopped it off incorrectly because this was glued badly. As you guys can see, this part of the spine actually tilts that way, so it's a little bit lopsided, but it's not that big of a deal. It's still generally central, so it's fine. It's just kind of interesting to notice and then not be able to get over it. More color pages is really good. I also love this color a lot. I think purple is a cover that's a cover color that's not used often enough in manga or in books in general, actually. And I'll take any purple manga cover I can get. So yeah, and then another purple cover, Mashal number 7. This one is more like a fuchsia, I guess, but still really good. I like it. And it's been a while since I revisited Mashal, and I'm excited to get back into it. If I remember correctly, the stuff that's in this volume is actually the last stuff that I ever read on the Shonen Jump app. So it's going to be interesting to get back into it and finally get to new content. So Mashal is the only Shonen Jump title that I follow that I don't read on the app that I buy physically, because it's one that I really like and really enjoy. And I really wanted to have at least one Shonen Jump series that I follow like that, right? Everything else I'll just read on the app. And the reason I collect Kaiju number 8 is because I also really love that series. And I do read it on the app all the time. But I do want to support the author, so that's why I buy those. So I really only collect 2 Shonen Jump titles. Kaiju number 8 and Mashal. So that's pretty good. That saves me a lot of money, and that lets me buy things from other publishers, because if I bought all the Shonen Jump stuff that I read, I would only have a Shonen Jump collection. And well, I like Shonen, but I don't want to be Shonen bros. So there we go. Then moving on to something completely different and pretty weird, Dinosaur Sanctuary. Now, I wouldn't necessarily say that this is the best written story ever, although it is really well written. But it's like, I don't know if that many people will like it, but to me, it works perfectly. And it's due to certain, you know, things that were big for me as a kid. First of all, like every other kid, I loved dinosaurs as a kid growing up. They're awesome, they're interesting, they're crazy. I remember, I'm pretty sure, the first movie I ever watched was Jurassic Park. I don't know which one, but one of the Jurassic Park movies. I remember crying. And I remember sitting in my bed watching it in one of the houses that I've lived in throughout my life. And I also love dinosaurs in general. But then there's also the fact that I used to watch this guy called Nigel Maverson, I think is his name. He's a British guy. Basically like Steve Irwin, I guess. But he had this show called Prehistoric Park. And I had it on DVD because my dad was nice enough to buy me a bunch of dinosaur DVDs, like Walking with Dinosaurs, Chase with Dinosaurs, Sea Monsters, Prehistoric Park, and stuff like that. And it was about this guy. It was Nigel himself as the character. And he would go into these fake portals that they, you know, made up with CGI. He would go in time and they would interact with these CGI, you know, dinosaurs and stuff. And he would find one that's about to die and bring it back to his park, and then he would preserve them to make sure that there was this like prehistoric, you know, Jurassic Park type thing. And part of the things that they did was, you know, heal them and stuff like that. So I remember very vividly, there was this one time where they took the baby T-Rex to the vet, and then they helped a pair of saber-toothed tigers mate, and there was these what are they called? Ornithomimus dinosaurs that got into somewhere they weren't supposed to. They're like ostriches. And then, you know, a bunch of stuff like that. And reading this was basically like shooting me back to when I used to watch that show on repeat all the time. And, well, I really liked it. It was really, really satisfying to read this. Also, it ends on a really interesting cliffhanger. It's mostly a slice of life kind of element. It's mostly just about these people living their daily lives and taking care of these dinosaurs in this dinosaur park. And it ends up with a very interesting cliffhanger about the main character's father and why he is no longer with her, and some of the other people that worked in this dinosaur exhibit place. So it's pretty interesting. I really liked it. My favorite chapter was the one about the Triceratops, but overall I really enjoyed all of them, and the artwork is phenomenal. Let's see. There you go. It's really, really good stuff, actually. And it's really interesting because there's a research consultant in this book called Shinichi Fujiwara, as you guys can see right there. And he is a paleontologist. And the author notes are actually given to him, and he writes about why things are the way they are, his history as a researcher, and how he got into it. And he also teaches you, this is why this was drawn this way, because in my research I found out this and stuff like that. And it's really, really good. Really exciting and really interesting. It does have that same kind of like Dr. Stone, like this is something to make people interested in this topic, right? And I like that a lot. I really love that manga is able to have just the most weirdest, like off the cuff, wild, mad lib like topic and theme and like situation, and it can still work. And I think Dinosaur Sanctuary is awesome, and I can't wait to collect more of it. So there we go. That's Dinosaur Sanctuary. I do still have to write or review it in a physical like first impressions review format, but I will get around to that later because I basically just did it right now. So yeah, then I have Dress Up Darling number 5 and 6. And I bought these at my local, or one of my local stores called Madness. I bought these two, and then Witch Hat Atelier number 7, because yesterday they had a sale. It was actually still going on today, but I decided not to go there because I didn't really want to spend that much money, and also because I had something else to purchase, which is this, Vinland Saga number 12. Now, if you watch my check-in video, or maybe if you watched any of my other videos this month, you will have noticed that I made a video about one of these books, where after page 274, well, it just turned into a textbook. So I went to the store, to Barnes & Noble. They traded it in for something of equal value because at the time they didn't have one of these. And then I checked again. They have it now. So I went down there and bought it. And I made sure to check that this one actually had the pages that it needed. So I am finally able to catch up to Vinland Saga and wait for the next volume, which comes out sometime in January, if I remember correctly. Oh, and I also want to mention, which is really, really weird, that I got carded yesterday when I was buying these. Apparently, at Madness, because it's a local mom and pop shop, they have to card me anytime I buy mature 18 plus manga. And this, of course, has the mature label on it, and it was bubble wrap, or sorry, not bubble wrap, it was shrink wrap. So I actually got carded in order to buy manga, which is insane, but also really funny and really interesting. And the whole time, I was there with one of my roommates. Me and my roommate thought that he was fucking with us because he has a very dry sense of humor, the guy that helps me out. And it was really funny because he was completely serious, and I had no idea that that was the case. And it was really weird to be carded for manga. But, basically, if it's mature, like if it's labeled mature, it's basically because it has something in it. This one contains pornographic material. So it makes complete sense. I just thought it was wild that I got carded for it. So yeah, that's it for me. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 new manga. And this was a really, really good haul. Next month, I'll probably have a lot more because all of the manga that I bought from Mexico, I'll probably be able to get my hands on finally, even if no one comes visits us for Christmas or we don't go there, because I'll figure out a way to get it sent over to me for as cheap as possible, but we'll figure it out later. So yeah, there you go. That's everything I bought this month, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please like, subscribe, and comment down below. Let me know what you thought. Let me know what you guys got this month, and thank you guys very much for watching. See you guys later.